Okay, I think now it will record correctly. Let's analyze this game that I played as black. And I lost because I probably went down in a variation that wasn't very good for me. So let's just move on. It plays the Morra Gambit that I refuse because I don't want to go into his preparation. And I go to this variant of the Alapin, I think it's called, yes. Okay, e6. Standard CD4. No, NC6 is not, and D6 and B6 are more common. Well, let's see what is, let's check these variants, alternative variants, BC4, NC6, castle, queen 2, castle, well, what is this? It's probably equal or edge. Or let's see this other possibility, B6, knight C3. Okay, let's interrupt knight C3, knight C3, B3, queen C6, B2. Well, is also equal. Okay, I'll be right back to you. Okay, what if instead after knight c6, well, it's still equal, bishop c4, so it's okay. Knight b6 seems okay, bishop b3, d6 is a great move here. Okay, so out of the opening, I'm not playing incredibly bad now. Also, option for e5, bishop e5 is also the main move. Now, okay. There are several propositions. I don't think anything is especially wrong. Now in this position I play bishop e7. Well, the interesting that the main move here, the one picked, seemed to be actually knight b4. Yes, the one picked. Also by my version of Komodo, and not by Stockfish and Frith. So, white is what happened the night before. This position has not been analyzed very much. I see. Okay, the threat is of course knight d3. Well, I'm not sure. Knight c3, knight d3, and key. Now why doesn't white just castle? White doesn't, white just castle if white castles. Queen d3. So what? It's not really a threat, it's a way to equalize, I guess. I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Well, and I don't, it's not, well, after bishop e7 actually seems to be a little, well, I don't know, maybe this will be a little better, but It's worth analyzing. Anyway, after bishop e7, it's not. I don't. It's not necessarily a better position for black. Castle. Now the proposition knight to d5. What happened after knight to d5? Well, there are knight c3, knight c3, bc3, and queen a5. Just give me a second. Well, it's of course, I'm getting a little disadvantage here. There are better moves. A little better. This would be also. After bishop d7, yeah, the position of black is somewhat cramped, but really. I guess when you are cramped, you should try to exchange pieces. Yes, that's one of the principles I kind of remember. So after bishop d7, not white. Rook d1 is equivalent. Still keep some advantage for white. White puts black in a little embarrassment. Oh, now knight a5 is proposed by the engine to keep some kind of castle. Well, it doesn't seem to me really make a lot of difference. A lot of knight 5. Well, I'd not analyze this. Knight e5, bishop c2, c7, knight c3, castle, bishop f4, whatever. Okay, maybe in when it. After question c7, okay, it doesn't seem is pretty much the same. So still, well, it will be worth looking at why position in the end, because I don't tolerate knight d6, but also knight b6, and I don't see any of the other variants, so probably I should stay clear of this kind of position. Okay, after queen c7, knight c4 is kind of obvious. Okay, now there are Stockfish and Komodo both propose knight e5 as a way to knight a5 and then rook c8 and castle. Okay, of course. Well, knight a5 would also, because after queen c7, then c3, there's the annoying idea of knight b5. And that was the idea of why I played a6. But of course, after knight a5. And in case of this move, yeah, this is a situation, of course, when it changes, I think is good because, yes, when you are somewhat cramped, it's always good to try and exchange pieces. Now I see that I kind of equalized. So after knight a5, of course, the white prefers to play bishop c2, bc6, and then I somewhat uncramped. And then white plays knight d4, rook d8. Well, and black kind of frees himself. So let's have a look. Bishop c2, bishop c6, knight e4, and rook d8. That was well, and yes, it's playable for black, definitely. Still, obviously, I prefer white, but okay. Let me see. Do you propose bishop before and duke and castling? Yes. Okay. And anyway, let's see. Okay, let's. Okay, what knight b5, knight b5, bishop b6, queen b7, c6 is worse. Knight c6 is just I say is virtually equal. Well, now the game's 0-40, but I say it's equal. And I may be optimistic, but just that's what I will write here. Okay, a6. Knight e4 is proposed by Stockfish and bishop e4 by Commodores. Well, if well, knight 84 when made the move is okay also for Commodore. Okay, wait me a second. Okay, I've seen that slowly the engine, the Commodore is agreeing with the evaluation. Stockfish that after knight e4 definitely is white is already quite a pretty high advantage, so it's a pawn advantage. So you see, I haven't made so far any mistake, really, any big mistake, but I've been slowly ensuring doing suboptimal moves, and my opponent in this game that is higher rated than me is playing better, so I'm getting a position. Obviously I got into an opening into a position that I don't know that I don't play well, and of course I am playing against a better player probably overall, so that hardly right. There's no reason to be too hard on oneself. So after castling, which is the move that, sorry, I'm a cold. Bishop g5 is a move that I wouldn't have seen. Is interested. I don't have the latest version of Komodo. I have Komodo 9.0, and but I used the cloud to analyze this move, and someone having a Commodore 9.3 is actually finding this move, bishop g5. Well, so bishop g5, the strongest move by white. I should buy Commodore, it is better so Commodore as well, but that means I should also buy a Meta computer as well, so I just, I don't think it's making a lot of difference. Bishop take g5 is actually not a move which has been proposed by Stockwith, not proposed by the engine. It's proposed h6. Well, let me think about it. Obviously, because if I take white is a bad move. If I take, I get the opportunity of white to take some. I take away a piece of mine from the defending ones, and white take and brings another attacking piece to the king side. On the other one, if I made a white exchange, I will take the knight c6 to a7, and that is I would have another piece, more defending piece more. So yes, let's look at h6. Of course, white doesn't have to exchange, but assuming that he does, it actually it makes sense in for do. Bishop takes e5, knight e7, rook a c1, protect the king, queen, yes, bc6, and then knight d6. Oh yes, that's something that, and that's why the reason, one of the reasons why I played e6 before, because I want to prevent the knight c6, knight b5, knight e6, knight c5. I think this maneuver. No, not this. This. So anyway, okay, let's remove this because it doesn't make sense here. Take, knight c1, bc6, and knight d6. That will be. Of course, that one and other things I certainly didn't like, because I was hoping for other tactics. Well, in fact, the reason why I took, because I hoped that he would take the knight for a4 to g5, removing that tactics. That is such awkward. Wait, right. So it's playing in this position is just awful. And I really should do my best next time to try not to go into such a position that allows such possibilities, because I've won games with these openings against a lesser player, but not against this one. But of course, probably when you play against a stronger player, you are going to lose no matter what. So it's just not. Well, of course, that's a lot of pressure. I don't. So in the end, it doesn't change a lot. Maybe somewhat better, but I don't think so. After take g5, well, now knight take g5. Now white gets a pretty strong attack on the queen on the king side. Well, and I still have most of my pieces on the queen side, actually not doing much. So that's why it's a bad idea to take the king. In the end, it turns out the queen, the maneuver of the move of queen knight d5 to b6 that I played before is bad, because the knight in b6 is completely useless, because in this kind of variant an attack by white on the king side will come, and you better be have your pieces where they should be and not in some. So h6 is the move I played that one set by the edges, and the answer by the white is queen e4. So it actually sacrifices. Okay, now this is a move that I didn't see in the game. I didn't consider, and it's really embarrassing. Now, what? There are two possibilities. Either take the knight or play g6. I don't know if g6 is better. Remember, I thought about it in the game and I didn't like it. Why? Anyway, because there is with queen e4 exactly, that was right. So it actually, of course, and then queen g7, knight e4. Well, 97, 94, 95. It may be a better idea that in the game. Bishop d5, d5. Well, let's see. Well, knight g5, knight f4. Well, the white attacks goes on. Rook a d8, rook a c1. Okay, I don't know. I'm not analyzed because there are a lot of variants. So let's say this is a possibility. Instead, after taking this, this is actually even worse. The game is lost, according to knight g5. Okay, so that's just a relative perspective better. Knight g5, and then now we are better. White is is threatening mate again. Okay, now I remember who's in this position. Now g6 does not work because white just swings to with a queen knight from to h4 and can mate, and then the rook. And this is pointless to move the rook because I have a check on h7 and the mate on f7. Just I had to show it. g6, queen h4, knight d8, check, mate. Okay, this is so this is not an option. So the mate finally is inevitable after g6. g6 leads to mate. So there is only one. Well, in the end, you have to move the rook somewhere. Now it says moving to h8. I don't know why. they may moving to h8 to e8, sorry, or to c8. Doesn't make it for a difference. Probably not. So I just let's repurple. Again, no, queen x7. Let me move this first. King f8. And now that's interest and totally interest the move f4. That's another move that I didn't see the game. I wouldn't have. I didn't consider. I thought that now the attack is over. Actually, what I was thinking is opening this for this. Okay, now actually, if White had played this, White's attack is not going anywhere. Knight takes. Okay, then Queen h7. Well, in fact, I was thinking that was it. That I would get away with it. But that wasn't to be. White plays f4. Now this move, as I said, completely surprises me. Now, in this position, I was considering knight e7, knight e5. I certainly didn't think, as Tianjin tells me now, that this position is already lost for black. Certainly not. Well, I'm curious to see what happened after knight e7. Yes, of course, there will be queen h8, knight g8, knight e7, h7, of course, and then of course king e7, queen g7. Threatening what? Queen c7, king h8, queen g8. Okay, I will lose. Okay, let's play it up. King h7, knight g8, knight h7, king h7, queen take. Now, what is the threat? Again, why does the king have to escape? I don't know. Is the threat and threat queen g5? Okay, queen g6. No fun. I no idea. Let's see what a second move would be. Rook f8. Rook c1. In fact, let's see what happened after rook f8. I mean, for instance, no. Now would be also very long-winded attack because there is no immediate mate. f5, e takes f5, rook ac1. Oh, wow. f5, e takes f5, rook ac1. Okay, queen e3. And now what? No, wow. Knight f6, knight f6, bishop f6, a8. Okay, now there are so many technical possibilities that is probably not even worth look at. Okay, now let's go back a step. This is worse. Queen h8. There is only one move here. Knight g8. We agree then it's knight h7, k6, knight queen g7. That would be yeah. I don't think that's anything else. And for one not, the best move is queen c5 of black. There's not much else that black can do. There are just so many threats. The rook will on D and C, and on the other, and the knight and the queen. Well, the game she showed the threat the queen g5. Of course, there are the possibility queen g5, check, f5, rook c1, rook d1, and bishop also is active. Yes, all pieces, all white pieces are active. Now I have a rook that is not doing nothing, the e8 out of the game. And actually also the other pieces. So to be honest, so the position queen c8, king 8. Now the best bet position of the engine is queen d8, so giving up the knight, so that the king can escape. Queen d8, or king d8, queen takes g8, king c7, queen take f7, queen b8 and escapes. Rook d7, queen knight d7, queen d7, okay. And white picks up material with advantage. Let's see. Okay, in that sense, pretty obviously the answer to white is here is much better. So another possible rook f8. Oh, now it even there is the possibility of f5 or bishop e6. That's another tactical possibility. Bishop e6, bishop e6, knight f8. Oh, that's interesting. Bishop a6, bishop x6. Okay, so let's remove this variation. Bishop a6, knight f8. So what? Why doesn't it take? Because queen g7. f6, fx6, rook f6. Okay, what is this? What is this? Ah, of course. Oh. So this is the only move. Wow, so this is equivalent probably. a5, h5, a6 even. Oh, there are so many possibilities for white. Oh, hf5. Now e6, bishop e6, bishop e6. Now I'll stick to rook ac1. Okay, queen e3, knight f6, knight f6, hf6, e8, r1. Is this favorite variant? What happened after now? Okay, it's obviously one. Okay, this is worse. So now, okay, then let's see that knight e7 as a general isn't better. So knight e5 was a better bet in this position. F takes e5, queen e5. Okay, still, black is still a pawn up. I still believed that I would get away with it. How was I wrong? Now, queen h5 kind of surprised me. I don't know what I was waiting. I was waiting. Well, but I was kind of surprised. Now the angel proposed queen e3, does queen g5. Well, queen c5 is actually worse, much worse. What happened after queen e3? Well, it's actually the same, queen h1, sorry, g6. And yeah, queen h8, queen a7, queen h4, not very different from the game. And rc5. Okay, that's a difference because I can take the rook. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that doesn't seem anyway very good. Well, good to me. And in fact, this allows knight takes e6. Yes, g5. Okay, that was the idea of the rook in there, and queen a7, bishop e6. Wow, no, that's very interesting. Queen a7. If I had an engine, I'd say that black is okay after that. Bishop takes e6, rook e1, queen a5, queen e5. Are you serious? I'm desperate. Well, okay. What if I just take? Well, of course, I'll take the bishop. But if I go there, now obviously bishop f6. Or rook e5, yes, seems obvious to me. And bishop e3. Okay, now we have. In theory, the material is equal. Then why is it? Having the king exposed is enough to lose. Now d5, bishop d5. So what now? Why queen g5? You can't be serious. King e6, rook a d1. Really? Really, that is much over my head. f6, queen g7. It doesn't. And queen b5. Okay, and then what happens? Rook f4. Now, yes, that means why. That's the reason why I don't the master yet. I know I would have no idea here that the game is lost for black without hope. I think I would think black could play on here. Uncoordinated pieces just a big disadvantage. Now f5, g4. Really? You can be serious. F5, queen g6, king g1, f8. It would seem to me that no, sorry, that would be this one. Not even that. This one. Okay, doesn't black cover everything? No, what was that? What was that? Rook f8. So actually, no, it's funny if f takes g4, it's mate and queen f7. I think yes. It's incredible that white has no defense here. Black has no defense. No good defense. Okay, I'm not going on this. Yeah, okay, it's better, but not really much. Black loses anyway after this. Well, I say after this. Queen e7 is here. It was the proposal. Rook a7. Rook a7. Well, we are almost over because there is after Queen c5. In h1 g6. Queen h4. The position of black crumbles. In h4. Yeah, the plan was here to escape with the king. Yeah, of course. Now, as the Henry suggests, is rook f1 is a threat. F6 is actually something I considered because there was a pressure, not oppression on the e6 core. In general, a way to take out the pieces. Okay, how does it consider queen e8? Well, it doesn't consider much worse. So let's see. Let's make it equivalent. F5. Now would be f5. Rook a1. No. But I'd say white knows how to attack. No, after queen. Now, okay, now the queen b5, queen h7, queen h8, queen g6. Oh, and it's really it's just everything crumbles. Crumbles as a castle of cards. Well, everything's in kind of. Okay. Still interesting then from material point of view is still okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm not analyzing it, but in general I think that is the main gist. After queen h8, Okay, let's knight a4. g5 is proposed by the engine. My choice is queen e7. Well, of course, because then there come knight d6. I could make queen d6. After and now white just humiliates me. Yeah, it's a really. But taking the good moves now, even you would say after watching this, there might be a creeping doubt that white was using an engine, but then. But if that is the case, it will have much higher rating. I probably is just probably being a good player. But I must say, looking at there are a lot of first choice moves. If I saw in, I say, of course, that was very tactical. So it's, but regrettably in our days, it's a question you always ask yourself when you see great moves, great games. But in general, at this level, cheating is not a problem because people who cheats, and there are those have so high ratings now because playing with a computer, you just get also correspondence chess. You get I don't know idea, but it's actually there's no way I could be that would be just such a rating. That I could that would be such a 100-point difference rating with me that I certainly am not using an engine. Oh, g5, queen h5. Okay, queen a5. Okay, but still knight d6 and still knight d6, and then actually the result is the same. Let's say it's equivalent. Okay, anyway, I finished analyze this game. What I still want to do is verify that I try and find a better variant for me. Now d6 here, bishop c4, and now not playing b4 but playing n6. Because if white just take, and that's 85 in castle, let's say, black jump playing d5, 95, okay. And black has an isolated pawn, but white as well, so actually it's not really difference. White could go here. Black now is a free pawn, not just another possibility. So white doesn't probably want to go there. So d6, bishop c4, and now no way. Now probably I should when playing this this kind of opening. I should probably try and remember this position because it will be so. E6, after E6, right, C take D4, knight C6, no, not knight C6, but D6, now for bishop C4, now then knight C6, because this taking is worse, because take, or castle, take, okay, and is equal, and is equal, and is also equal, actually it's even better. Okay, after castle, just bishop e7, we need to castle, and there are and black's position is somewhat easier to play. Now we can go on knight c3, c3, bc3. Oh, gotta go away. And is equal. Now I want knight d6, bishop d4. Now, actually I could transpose and play d6 here. And I would be actually in the same position as before. So that is also important to remember. After the d6, black have other moves, but not really threatening. Like a3. We went in before, so then but there's not a point. But there's a because in the end, in this game, the most principled move by white in this kind of position is BC. After is BC4. And now, like other kind of opening, knight B6 is not a good move. Not because of that the guy knight ends up being out of the game, then we can it's probably develop the bishop. Only I played immediately B6. That's also interesting. Now what if white instead plays knight bishop c4, bishop b7? Now okay, now there's a different feeling to the game. After let's see knight c4, knight c4, bc3, in c7, bishop do to bishop b7. Okay, let's see what happened. Bishop d3 and still d6, still is played. Castle, knight d7. On knight d7, is principle, bishop e5. Okay, that's interesting. This must be prepared. In h3, bishop e7. Well, I understand why it's a little less popular. You have to know what you're doing. Now I wonder if this main variant, knight c6, castle, no, bishop e7, queen e2, castle, 3, knight c3, bishop c3, is b6 an alternative? Okay, now let's go on here. b6 is still still an alternative, but we move d5, d5. Not interesting. Queen e5. Bishop d2. r8. This bishop is still undeveloped. Okay, f1. It still goes to d7. Okay. Okay, still equal for black. Well, you have to remember this little. Okay, that's important. I don't want to. I have to make sure to understand this long-term consequence of not or, or this opening. Okay, thank you for watching.